Cloud One provides you with security for your cloud accounts, instances, serverless functions, cloud file storage, virtual networks, and more, all from a single, easy-to-use platform. Whether you're on a security team trying to keep track of your cloud footprint or a developer looking to build fast in the cloud, you are covered. A platform this big may seem hard to get a handle on. Thankfully, it's built with a familiar experience across all services, while still respecting the fact that security for serverless functions is very different than network security in a virtual network. You choose only the services that make the most sense for your team, or layer them for defense in depth with one more click per service. Here's a quick way to figure out where to start. If you have an AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud Platform account, Conformity regularly checks your settings to make sure that things are what you expect. If you're responsible for configuring virtual networks, Network Security looks at virtual network traffic to ensure that it's what you expect and not malicious. Responsible for instances, Workload Security provides both detection and prevention controls to make sure that only what you want runs on your instances. Managing cloud file storage security scans any new files for malware and easily integrates into your application workflows. Building and running containers, container security quickly scans your images for malware and exposed secrets. It takes things a step further, coordinating with your Kubernetes deployment to make sure that only safe containers can be used. And how about writing applications? Application security quickly embeds in your code to prevent complex attacks with unique behaviors. Your cloud accounts can be continually monitored. The real-time dashboard gives you alerts against all of the compliancy checks that have been run against all of your AWS, Azure, and GCP accounts. The compliance status is well aligned to the well-architected framework. A timeline is provided of all of those results. Alignment is also provided against the AWS region, and clicking on the misconfiguration links you to our detailed knowledge base about how to take action against this misconfiguration. Powerful reporting is built into the console, aligning against NIST, CIS, HIPAA, HITRUST, PCI DSS, and more. Checks can also be run on your infrastructure as code, even before it's been deployed to your cloud environment, with the Conformity Template Scanner. We also integrate with some of the leading communication tools such as Slack, Jira, ServiceNow, Microsoft Teams, and Amazon SNS to build automated workflows to resolving these issues. Network Security is a cloud service that provides a powerful network security layer, deploying seamlessly into existing architecture, inspecting inbound and outbound traffic, and detecting and preventing attacks. Deployments can be set up from the simple wizard, selecting the account that you'd like to choose, and also selecting the VPCs that you'd like to protect. Then simply use the deployment script to install into your network. Once deployed, you'll be able to provide the industry-leading, actionable and comprehensive threat protection to detect and prevent attacks that include virtual patching, vulnerability shielding, exploit blocking, and highly accurate defense options, as well as failover scenarios to ensure cloud protection without disruption to other applications. Whether you manage a set of EC2 instances in one account, or multiple accounts running thousands of instances at any one time, Cloud One Workload Security helps you protect the enterprise applications and data from breaches, and also business disruptions, without requiring emergency patching. This comprehensive, centrally managed platform helps you simplify security operations while enabling regulatory compliance and accelerating ROI of virtualization and cloud projects. Workload policies can be centrally defined. They are essentially a collection of rules and configuration settings that can be saved for easy assignment for multiple instances. Here you can see all of the relevant controls can be switched on or off depending on the workload posture. In the console, the deployment wizard allows you to select the platform that you'd like to install against and also the predefined policy that we set up earlier. You can also set up this automated policy creation and configuration using the Workload Security API. And all of the workload information against the security policy that's been installed, as well as the AWS instance information against the workload, will all be listed for your availability and reporting capabilities. File storage security provides anti-malware scanning on resources for cloud file storage. When a user or program uploads the file designated for the file storage location, file storage security performs a scan. In the Cloud One Services console, you can select file storage security. Here you can deploy the all-in-one stack as a CloudFormation template. This template sets up everything that you need to get started in order to scan your S3 buckets, whether they're existing or you'd like to create some new buckets to scan. With the scanner stack now deployed, I upload one document to my S3 bucket. Here you can see my upload of important documents has been scanned, and if I scroll down you can see now that it's been detected as malicious. With this you can use that in your workflow to remove or quarantine that object. Cloud One Container Security provides policy-based deployment security, ensuring that container images are run only when they meet the security criteria that you define. With the supported Deep Security Smart Check integration, you can build security policies from scan results that only allow safe images to be deployed. Here in Smart Check, you can see that I have a list of my container images that have been scanned. I scan them for vulnerabilities, malware, secrets and keys, and also compliance violations. The container image scanning detects threats in apps installed with a package manager as well as directly installed apps, using Trend Micro's industry-leading rule feeds. Once images have been scanned, Container Security provides policy-based deployment control through a native integration with Kubernetes to ensure the Kubernetes deployment you run in your production environments are safe. Container Security enables you to create policies that allow block or allow deployments based on a set of rules. The rules are based on pod and container security properties and the results of Deep Security Smart Check scans. In EKS, all I need to do is copy my cluster information with the detail. Once there, I can go over to the Container Security wizard to add the cluster. In the cluster, it asks me for a name, a description, and also the admission policy. I also have the ability to integrate runtime security that allows you to detect and protect against illegal file access and remote command execution. The wizard then details all of the install options that I need to provide to my cluster. Once installed, I can see a list of all of the pods in this cluster. You can now see that Container Security is already installed with runtime protection and the admission controller. My image scanner has identified a piece of malware in this image. If I now try to deploy this image to my environment, it will prevent the deployment from running because the admission controller does not allow anything with malware from being admitted to production. Now, going back to the Container Security console, my security operations team can see all of the admission events for their detail and action. If you're writing code, Application Security allows you to easily embed security functionality into your running applications and serverless functions. It bridges the gap between security teams and development teams by providing a tool that provides relevant information to both. You get visibility into attacks targeting your application, you can protect against the OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, OS command injection and more, and you can also stop zero-day vulnerabilities from being exploited. The Trend Micro Cloud One Application Security Service inspects every request submitted to your application and executes the security checks as specified by your policy. An event is then triggered when a security threat occurs and triggers a rule in your policy. Here we have a Lambda application behind an API gateway. Here you can see it's been exploited to display the etc password file. Now this is my Lambda application behind an API gateway. Here I can add a simple application security layer to embed the security controls to protect against this type of attack. From here I can simply add the application security library as a custom runtime layer. With application security now in detect mode, we can run this attack again, but this time we have the visibility in the security operations tool in application security to identify if our application is under attack. In the console, I am now immediately alerted to the fact that my Lambda function is under attack. Application security will now list all of the events that have happened in this time frame. By including application security in your web application, you'll now receive alerts as soon as the attacker begins to conduct scans and attacks. Here we can address each event manually, or you can configure application security to react automatically to these attacks, stopping them in their tracks before any damage is done. Most importantly, real vulnerabilities are not exploited because of the runtime protection, and your development will have code-level information regarding the vulnerability. Uniquely, application security can provide the Lambda information to a very fine granular detail. This includes AWS request ID, the function name, the function version, and the ARN. This information can be invaluable in dealing with an incident. The security operations team can either notify the developer, or the developer can be notified immediately if this function is their responsibility. Application security can be updated easily in terms of policy. Policies can be put in mitigation or report-only modes. Once the policy is updated, the application is immediately protected. Here you can see the application has now got a mitigation policy, and the application is to be tested again, and the automatic block is in place. Now back in the security console, you can see that attack has now been blocked successfully. Open Source Security by Snyk provides continuous visibility of open source vulnerabilities in your code. It allows security operations team to increase visibility into security risks hidden in open source code and strengthen security procedures that affect application development and productivity. You can connect Cloud One Open Source Security by Snyk to your source code repositories such as GitHub, GitLab, or your build pipelines such as Jenkins, TeamCity, and Azure pipelines, plus many more. The service will scan your source code dependencies and provide a prioritized assessment of your open source risk. It will then provide you actionable remediation advice to your developers and operations teams and continue to monitor improvements over time. This service enables you to respond to new vulnerabilities quickly with immediate insight into how many projects are affected by a new vulnerability and visibility into the remediation progress. Trend Micro is designed to help cloud operations and builders throughout the world, so why not try Trend Micro Cloud One today?